Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is JD here. As you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm outside my backyard. Just decided to do a video out here. Just to relax. I figured that change of scenery will really help with my relaxation and overall anxiety, hypochondria, panic disorder. This is going to be filmed on my iPhone, as you can see. I've already taken 3 takes. This is my 3rd take because I got interrupted by the UPS guy who is coming down the hill right now. For some reason, he heard me talking and just decided to interrupt me, which was, I was going into 5 minutes of my video, but he interrupted that. So, this is my 3rd take, hoping my iPhone does not run out of battery. But overall, this has been a week full of it's been a roller coaster full of emotions this week. It's been up, it's been down, it's been up, it's been down. This is the life of a hypochondriac and a person with anxiety disorder. And I have a new one, which I'll say in it later on in the video. I'm going to try to make this video at least 30 minutes as of today. Not going to go more because I need my memory for this phone. And plus, recording on an iPhone with video for a very long time takes up a lot of space, and I only have 5 gigabytes left. So we're going to try to do this quickly as possible. But we can just get on with it now. Like I said, it's been a roller coaster of emotions this week. But last Friday, after the video that I did, I can tell you that it's been one of the most relaxing nights that I've had, or relaxing days. Basically, it almost felt like I was my old self again. It was like one of those typical Friday nights where, I was hanging out in my house. Well, sometimes I usually get out. I didn't really get out last Friday, but, when I don't get out, it's like one of those typical Friday nights. So I got out, and, no, wait, no, what I'm saying. I was inside my house. I didn't get out. I was inside my house doing the normal thing, watching some TV, watching some baseball. I've always been a baseball fan, but I never really sat down and watched it in a long time, unless it's like the playoffs games. But that's something I've been doing for the past week or so, 2 weeks. Just been watching some baseball. My favorite team is the Yankees, and don't hate. But yeah, I've just been doing things to try to take my mind off the anxiety. I know sitting down, laying down, watching TV all day, on the computer or whatever is not the best way to get rid of your anxiety. It's probably the worst way. But I'm building up to try to recollect my thoughts, get my brain back to rewiring the nerves in my brain. So I think this week is a start. Or last week. I know for a fact that these symptoms are going to continue for a while. They're not just going to end just like that. They're going to continue, but I think I'm going to start building up my positive positive thoughts, my positive mindset about what's really happening with me, and finally putting it into my head that I'm basically 100% healthy. Well, not necessarily 100% healthy, but I'm in good condition physically, and I don't have any diseases to worry about. It basically starts to tell me that I can get my life back once I fix my head. So that's what I've been practicing on for this past week, is just trying to get my mind right. But it's like I said, I'm still going through those symptoms. It's not over yet. They're still there. They're still going to try their best to attack my mind, trying to get me to think that there is something wrong with me and that I have to go to the emergency room. And of course, if I go to the emergency room, everyone with anxiety is different. There are people who get really nervous when going to the doctors or go to the emergency room because they fear they might have something. For me, it's really different. It's like if I was to go to some sort of specialist, like a neurologist, my doctor, the ER, my therapist, or any type of therapist that would take a look at my body or my mind, how I feel. my mind eases up because I'm that type of hypochondriac to where, or I have that type of anxiety to where if I'm with somebody who could give me medical attention when I need it, then I wouldn't have to worry about if I was to drop dead because I would have the right care. Now, if I'm somewhere where, like in my house, where my father isn't home, or if I'm by myself, or if I'm at a place to where immediate medical care is not going to be there within an instant, I tend to get a little anxious and I tend to worry a lot. And I've noticed that that's been a thing, and that really can't be a physical. I mean, it's physical, but it's triggered by the mind. It's triggered by your mind because of the way you think. And it's not because that you do have something serious. It's because of what your mind, the thoughts that you're putting into your mind. So, and brings me into Saturday night. This brings me into Saturday the next day. So after Friday was very, very relaxing. Excuse me for my speech, by the way. So after a relaxing Friday, Saturday in the beginning was pretty relaxing too. I was indoors for a while. I was talking to some of my friends on Skype. Um, you know, I had a good mood overall, and my mood ended up wanting me to get out, and I basically drove around for like an hour or two. Just wanted to get out, drive around, see what's going on outside of the house because you can't stay inside. You can't stay indoors because if you suffer from agoraphobia, that's really going to kill you. If you well, not it's going to kill you mentally. It's going to put bad thoughts into your head. It's not going to kill you physically. I'm sorry to say that. But if you suffer from agoraphobia, you really have to like face your fear and really get out and stop worrying about if something bad is going to happen to your body. So that's what I did. I got out. You know, in the beginning, I had a couple of anxious moments to where I felt symptoms. I felt symptoms to where it was going to something was going to build up and something could have happened. But you know, I was really trying to fight against checking my pulse, checking my heart rate because that's something that I've been doing for the past 2 months now. Is always constantly worrying about my heart rate, and I've pretty much said this in the other videos, but I'm saying this now again to reassure you guys. And that's medically. No. See, I'm trying to get my mind right, trying to say everything right. So that's mentally not healthy for you, not mentally healthy for your mind. If you don't have a heart condition and you suffer from anxiety and you're always worried about your heart rate, that's going to trigger your heart rate to go faster. That's what I've been learning. That's what I'm trying to get into my head. Is not trying to worry about my heart rate. Your heart rate is going to be as normal as it can as long as you don't worry about it. The more you worry about it, the more stress you put it onto your mind, and that stress goes directly to your heart, and it's going to go fast. So that's what I've been doing for a while. Is just trying to not pay attention to my heart. And going back to that Saturday when I was driving, when I was feeling a little bit anxious, I thought that my heart rate was probably going over 100 while I was driving around and sitting. So technically I'm resting, but driving. So I thought my heart rate was going really fast. And, just by instincts in that anxious thoughts made me check my heart rate. And my heart rate was about, just by counting it, was about 70 to 80. And I thought it was over than that, but it wasn't. It was just my anxious thoughts. And feeling that really put my mind at ease. It really made me feel a lot better to continue to drive. So I drove like another hour or so just to enjoy it was really good. It was a beautiful day out there. It was like 70 degrees. I just wanted to get out, enjoy the environment, and really get out of the house. But of course, I got to Walmart. I needed to get some things, and my friend texted me as I came out of Walmart. He told me that he wanted to go see a movie, and I said, "What movie do you want to see?" And he said, "Captain America." So I saw that over the weekend. Now, for some reason, thoughts went into my head telling me maybe you should think about not going, or what if this happens, the what if factor. Um, I actually debated for about 30 seconds whether I should go or not. And that's all your anxiety needs, honestly. It needs less than a minute of you gathering anxious thoughts for it to hit you later on big time. So I basically told myself that if I go, what if this happens? But if I don't go, I'm going to be more depressed by staying at home and not really getting out and enjoying the things that I should be doing. Like, if my friend wants to go see a movie, and if I didn't have this panic disorder, I would just go. I wouldn't even think about it twice unless I had money problems, but I didn't have money problems. If you wanted to go see a movie, I said, let's go. Not even think about it, not even think twice. But, just for 30 seconds, I thought about it. I mean, it didn't drive me into a panic right then and there, but the anxious thoughts were building up, and it continued to build up when I got home and waited on him. And that entire night, I was trying my best to calm down, do breathing exercises, trying to de-stress myself from all these thoughts and the thoughts of what's going to happen if I really do go out. And that's when I developed a slight agoraphobia. Well, I guess you can say slight. I mean, I'm outside right now and I don't have it. But basically going out and doing, like, hanging out with friends, going out to the movies, basically being at a place where you could be far off of medical need or medical attention. Those thoughts were running through my mind. And sometimes it wasn't running consciously, but it was stored into my subconscious mind to where it would affect me later. So I remember eating some dinner before I went to the movie, and I can remember while feeling a little bit stressed out while my food was digesting into my system, the anxious thoughts made my heart rate go up. And I'm telling you, I'm sitting down, and I could feel my heart rate go up to maybe about in the upper 90s, probably past 100 beats per minute at a couple of times. And that spooked me because, resting heart rate is usually around 60 to 100. But I was sitting while eating, and plus while being a little bit anxious about what could happen that night. And the one thing I've learned this week is that if you're stressed out and you're also eating, when you're digesting food, your body is already using up energy to digest that food, and your heart rate is supposed to go up. But if you're also stressed and anxious about something, your body's like doing double duty, and that's easily going to elevate it even more. So just by eating a meal, a really good meal, by the way, a healthy meal, it really caused my heart rate to go up. And, I ended up sweating a little bit, not on my head, but on my body. I could feel the muscles, get a little bit warm. I was getting to that fever stage again like I had 3 weeks ago. So I ended up like laying down for a while, trying to rest that heart rate. And that just put me into more an anxious mood. Sorry, my nose is kind of stuffy. So I was really getting more anxious about going out. And plus, with me eating, it really didn't help me at all. So I remember my friend came about 45 minutes later. I didn't check my heart rate at all when I was laying down because I ignored it. But I decided to take my blood pressure while he came because I was a little bit more calm. And I thought my heart rate and my blood pressure was going to be sky high when I took it. It ended up being, while laying down, by the way, it ended up being 115 under 70 was my blood pressure, and my heart rate was about 75 when I was laying down. Now, that's good. That's basically in the normal range. And I was still a little bit anxious. So usually my heart rate while laying down when I'm not anxious, when I take it at night, it could be anywhere from like 60 to 75. Maybe 80 if I'm anxious, or just 8. But it's usually around 60, so obviously that's an excellent, good condition for my heart rate to be at while laying down. Of course, when I'm sitting up, in this kind of position that I am now, it gets a little higher. Well, not too high, but it's still within normal range that I don't have to worry about it. So I basically was frustrated knowing that my blood pressure was good and my heart rate was pretty good too. So I probably would have canceled going to the movies if I didn't check my heart rate then. But again, that only causes me to be more anxious, because you shouldn't really be checking your heart rate just to go to the movies. Unless you have a medical condition, which I don't. It's just anxiety. So, went to the movies, getting ready. I was getting ready to go to the movies, and we went. And once I got to the movie theater, the agoraphobia, I guess, kicked in. It really kicked in. It kicked in to the point where the movie theater had reclining seats. And it's basically as good as laying on a bed, or you technically are laying down. And I don't know why, but I was on edge the entire time when I went to the movie. So, and my heart was, I don't know exactly what my heart rate was the entire time, but I remember during the beginning of the movie, I thought my heart rate was about 120 while just sitting down and trying to get to the movie. Man, I thought I had to leave. Like, I really debated going back home just to be at a place to where something was going to happen, I would get medical attention. That was basically my anxious thoughts. That was basically what was keeping me anxious, was that what if something was to happen and I couldn't get medical attention? Like, I really thought I could have had a heart attack then, but that's not the case, and that was just basically going through my mind, and that's what kicked up my agoraphobia a little bit. It was just the fact that my mind was racing, and I don't know, and that's, like, I remember checking my heart rate a couple of times while in the movie theater. I stayed, by the way. I stayed. Because I knew that if I was fine before, especially around driving, I can't just randomly get a heart attack or have a serious medical condition while I'm out in the movies. Like, how does that happen, honestly? So, I mean, it can happen, but the odds of that happening, especially with me being 26, and I don't have a medical condition at all. So, I knew that it was basically the anxiety kicking in. Like, I didn't have a palpitation, thankfully. If I had a palpitation, I probably would have left, but I didn't. So, all I know is my heart rate the entire time during the movie was at least around 85 to 105 the entire time. In the beginning, it was like over 100 beats per second, probably, while I was laying down. But I started to become more calm, and it probably at some points was below 90. But it was still an anxious time for me. It was still pretty stressful. But I stuck with it because I knew if I had left, I would have been really, really depressed. And that would have not have been easy for me to take. And I probably would have been in more of a wreck right now if I left. So I was proud of myself for sticking through it. And, I ended up basically, being happy. Me and my friend. My friend was proud of me because I went with my friend. Because he was kind of curious about me. But, he said he was proud of me for sticking through it. He was proud of me for, trying to control your mind, control that subconscious mind. Basically, what you have to do with anxieties is basically tell your mind that we're going to do this whether you like it or not. And it's not easy. It's very not easy, and it takes time to control it. But like I said, I went home. Was very pleased with my progress. Was very pleased that I was able to stay as long as I did and watch the movie. I was able to pay attention to the movie as well. By the way, Captain America is really good. So, we fast forward to the next day. This is very interesting. This is when I finally knew that anxiety was a very big problem. Anxiety is the main cause. Like, I could have known this about a long time ago, but if you're a hypochondriac and you have constant symptoms, especially with your heart, you feel that your heart is a problem, you're going to think many things. So, this is where I really figured out that anxiety is really taking a toll on me. I don't have my blood pressure monitor on me, but I remember Sunday afternoon taking my blood pressure. I was a little bit anxious for whatever reason while sitting down. I remember taking my blood pressure, and at first it was 130. What was it? It was 139 over 87. 139 over 87. That was my blood pressure, and the pulse was 84, I believe, when I was sitting down. And I wasn't really feeling too anxious, but I guess the anxious adrenaline was trying to kick in. So I remember taking it a minute later, and I shit you not, I took it a minute later, and my blood pressure was it was 119 over 69, and a pulse rate was about 77. That was my pulse rate. Less than a minute later, that's how quickly my blood pressure dropped. And that right there was when I knew that that's how anxiety was really taking effect. And that's when I knew that my main problem is my anxiety disorder. It's basically, there could be something physical happening, like the irritation of my vagus nerve or whatever, but it's not a chronic problem to where I have to worry about it, or to where I don't have to worry about dying anytime soon. I don't have to worry about anything like that. So knowing that really put me at ease. Now, of course, like I said, roller coaster of emotions. I mean, when I ate dinner later on that night, and of course, the heart rate was kind of high too. It was around 80 to 90 while laying down. Like, I was eating and laying down, and there were times where my heart rate was above 100, and it was very stressful to see this happening. I mean, it's not as stressful as it is now thinking about it, because after doing some research online, I know that some people with extreme anxiety disorder, extreme, panic disorder, when the anxiety kicks in, sometimes their heart rate while resting, like sitting down, could be close as 120, and they're not even in a panic attack. That's how quickly their heart rate is going. And I'm like, wow. And my heart rate is usually around 90 to 100. If for whatever reason the adrenaline is just kicking up while I'm eating or whatever. So I guess hearing that really made me calm down. But what I also noticed, that if there's a lot of gas in my stomach from when I'm eating, especially if I'm stressed out, that creates pressure on the vagus nerve in the stomach, and when that creates a little bit of pressure, that basically increases my heart rate. So I remember going downstairs to get seltzer water, and just to burp, and just to belch, get all that gas out. And whew, I mean, I could have probably entered a belching contest and probably would have won. I mean, I belched a lot and very loud. And the one thing I can remember is that when I belched out loud and got out all that gas and sat back down, my heart rate dropped significantly. My heart rate was probably around 99 before I took the seltzer water, and it went back down to the 80s. And remind you, I was still digesting food. So I guess you can say that it's a gas problem too, maybe, or just basically bloating or whatever. So I was experiencing that, and once I belched out, I was instantly relieved and didn't really have to worry about my heart rate speeding up. So, but nonetheless, those are still in normal ranges. Now, knowing that, and I just basically ate, and with me being a little bit stressed out, especially from the night before, that's going to cause my heart rate to, you know, level up a little bit. But it's still normal. It's still not at an alarming rate. Like, people think that once your heart rate goes over 100 while laying down or whatever, it's an immediate medical attention. It's not. And it's actually it's not good for your heartbeat to stay over 100 the entire time, like for a very long time. But, your heart is able to beat fast for days, because as you all know, if you're athletic and you basically train for hours, if you run for hours, your heart rate is continuously, beating very fast. So I'm now learning and basically teaching my mind to not be stressed out over these things, because it's actually normal. It's making me anxious because before I had the anxiety, before when I was my normal self, I never would worry about any of this. So who knows? My heart rate could have been always around 100, or could be around 70. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is when I don't think about it, when I put my mind at ease, when I relax, when I trust in my heart, when I let my heart do what it does, it basically calms down, because the more focus you put onto your heart anxiously, the more it's going to rise up, because you're putting stress on your nerves, you're putting stress into your head, which goes to your heart. So I have to, or anyone who is going through the same problem, has to understand that your heart will elevate at times, but it doesn't mean you're going to die. If you've been to the doctor many times, if you got checked out, and if you've been cleared medically, with all that, then you're going to be fine. So it's just all your anxieties, all your anxious thoughts. So I wouldn't really worry about that too much. And my fingers are going a little bit blue because I'm laying my hand down right here, so all the blood wasn't getting towards it. And pretty much it's pretty chilly out here. But like I said, don't really worry too much about it. And after that, you should just really calm down and everything, and not really worry about too much. Like I said, like after that, I went to told my therapist about everything, and she just basically, kind of agreed, which is basically Monday, and she basically told me that I did the right thing. And when I did the right thing, which is basically, just be easily relaxed and everything, it was pretty much, I just basically did the right thing. And if I'm stalling, it's because I kind of feel something going on. And that's probably because I was leaning on my arm. Because as you can see, it's kind of, oh, you can't really tell now. I think it's returning to normal. My hand is getting a little bit numb. But that's because I was laying it on this rest where my phone is being held at, and kind of basically interrupted the blood flow. It's kind of chilly out here. So now I feel better. But, she basically told me I did the right thing and just was easily relaxed with everything. So, after that, I pretty much was a normal day for me. As the week went on pretty well, I got a slight agoraphobia while going to my therapist, but I knew for a fact that this isn't a medical issue. It can't really just spark up like a heart attack or anything. Just spark up just like that. So I knew to battle it against it, and sooner or later, I was really much more calm with myself. So it was easy to deal with that. And then pretty much, Tuesday was yesterday. Things started to return back to normal, and actually, yesterday was probably one of the most relaxing nights I had. It was like the second most relaxing nights that I've had. Um, it was relaxing to the point where I barely checked my heart rate. I think I only checked it once for whatever reason, and I was fine. So, and oh, I'm basic. As you guys know, I'm basically on metoprolol, which is a beta blocker. I'm only taking that not because of high blood pressure, but I'm only taking that because of if I do have a panic attack or palpitation, it's to prevent it from going over, a high rate. So it's to control it. But my doctor, I spoke to my doctor on phone Monday, and he told me that I basically can start, getting off of it and start reducing the levels. So I'm basically on the every other day plan, and so far so good. My body's been pretty well, and I guess you can say that, um, you know, ever since then, things have been going on pretty well. Uh, Damn, that really killed me. So, really feel a lot of pressure on my stomach now. Oh man, God, that really hurt me. Don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm about to go inside right now. But yeah. As you can see, like I said, it's been a roller coaster of emotions right now. Uh, I think I might have a panic attack now. You guys are about to experience it. I don't know what caused it. Probably because of the lack of blood going into my arm. But yeah. Whew. I mean, I'm not tired or anything, so that's a good thing. But that's basically what I've been experiencing. Okay, now I feel a lot better. Probably just need to warm up or something. But I'm back in the house. Yeah, so like I said, the rest of the week pretty much went well. Mm, and doing a lot of and stuff like that. And trying to remember what I did. Went to my chiropractor the first time on Wednesday. That was pretty much well. He told me that everything should be all right with me, that I should just calm down and everything. So everything seems more calm with me, and life seems to be picking up well for me, especially as of last night. Last night was really calm for me, because I didn't really worry about my heart rate. I didn't even experience the elevated heart rate while getting my food or anything like that. When I was eating and digesting the food, I didn't really experience anything like that. So, knowing that I'm pretty much in good spirits, and knowing and pretty much understanding what anxiety is, like I really felt that I fully understand what anxiety is and what it can do to the body. So knowing that, I guess you can say I feel a little bit better about myself. I know that I can defeat this, and except for that little episode that I just had now, I don't really understand it. As you can see, my fingers are returning back to normal. It was blue earlier, and that's because I was outside in the cold, and my arm was like leaning down, and the blood circulation got caught up. So, and there was a time where I felt like I got a little dizzy, not too dizzy, but I obviously you guys would have seen that I had to stop for a second. And I went inside, but now I feel a lot better. I mean, obviously, if I had a heart problem where I was tired, it would have basically shown. It was shown, but it didn't really show. You didn't really see anything. I just went inside, and I'm fine now. But yeah. I mean, that's basically a little bit of what I go through and what I feel. I can just feel stuff like that, where it feels like the arm is numbing, or I feel like a sensation in my stomach. Feel a little lightheaded. Those are some of the symptoms that I experienced with anxiety disorder. It wasn't really agoraphobia. Well, I guess you can say it was a little bit, but it was mostly due to the fact that my arm was less resting on the bench, on the armrest, and it kind of basically cut off the circulation to my blood. And because it was kind of cold out there, I didn't really get enough blood, and you know. But like I said, I'm indoors and I'm feeling much better than I did out there. That's something that's going to go away. I'm not afraid of it now. I mean, like I said, if I really had a problem, I wouldn't continue to talk right now. So that's pretty much a bonus feature. You guys just experienced me going into a little anxiety phase. So um, I can feel it kicking in. I can feel it felt like something was going to happen to where I needed to basically go indoors or go into a place to where I feel like I'm safe. I can pretty much go back out there, but it's over 30 minutes and I gotta end this video. But it's like I said, um, roller coasters of emotions. Like I said, today was feeling good. Then it kind of steeped down a little bit just now. Then it's kind of going back up or whatever. But yeah, that's you just got a sneak peek of what I go through. Um, I feel a lot more calm now, actually, a lot more calm, and knowing that what pretty much what caused it was the blood circulation and everything, because you can see my hand is kind of red. It's still pretty cold out there, same thing. Well, actually, the blood's blocking it, but you get the idea. Um, you know, um, doing a lot of thinking for this, trying to figure out what I want to say. I'm not gonna make this video go over 40 minutes, so see if there's anything else that I should mention. Uh, I mean, other than doing a lot of research this week of what your heart rate should be, especially when you're not anxious or when you are anxious about, what you're going through, it kind of puts your mind at it eased my mind to say the least. So it feels like I'm able to get out a little bit more often. Just be careful about my body. My body's still going through symptoms. My body still feels, I guess, the nerve still feels irritated or whatnot. So it's going to take a while to really get it functioning again, functioning properly. But nonetheless, I'm feeling 100% okay. Um, that's just a little preview of what I go through, especially when I'm outdoors. I mean, I was pretty much calm the entire time when I did that until had to move my arm over because it kind of felt like as you saw, my fingernails were blue. So, and it doesn't usually get blue. So I knew for a fact that was because my arm was, like I said, was on the armrest, and it was kind of numb, but it's feeling fine right now. So, of course, I didn't think heart attack or anything like that because I wasn't sweaty or anything. I didn't break out in sweat. I wasn't nauseated or anything. So, yeah. So, and obviously, if I was running out of breath, actually, when it's a breath, that would have shown, and that didn't show. And I'm still talking pretty fast now. But yeah. So, other than that, I'm going to basically end the video here. Um, it's a lot shorter than the last. And pretty much recharge my phone because it's probably almost dead. But like I said, that's been my week. It's getting a little bit better. Still going through a little things, as you can just see just now. But sooner or later, I'm going to get my mind back at ease and really, feel a bit good about this. So that's it going to be for this week. I'll see you next week. I could be back on my computer. This week is a little different. I just wanted to get out of the house, just do a different scenery change, and it helped out a little bit. So hopefully I'll do them when it's a lot warmer, but it's whatever. So I'll see you guys next week, and peace out.